Tonight we're going to talk about high blood pressure and hypertension, which are pretty much interchangeable terms. The big thing I want to get across to you is that high blood pressure and hypertension are not as bad of diseases as you think they are. People think that they lead to heart attacks. They don't. It's a big misnomer, a big misstatement of fact in the medical industry in order to get you to get prescription drugs. And what are the kind of prescription drugs that they normally prescribe for you for high blood pressure or hypertension? Statin drugs, statins. They're little pills. They're ugly looking little pills, and you're supposed to swallow them. But the doctor probably didn't put in plain terms for you what the problem is. Every prescription drug, and especially statins, has side effects. It's usually 3, and it's usually 5, and oftentimes it's more than that. And we're talking about serious side effects here too, folks. How about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's? Alzheimer's is a disease that didn't exist 100 years ago. It was unknown 40 years ago. Why is it known now? Because people are getting these prescription drugs to treat their to treat their high blood pressure, and that leads to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's later on in life. The statin drugs that you get, or whatever prescription drugs you get in order to control your high blood pressure, are like depth charges, because the side effects oftentimes don't show up until years later. And they show up in the form of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and you wonder where your relatives got these diseases from. Well, guess what? That's where you got them from. It usually is a case of high blood pressure. When I'm talking with people, and they mention that their relative has Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, I say, well, did they ever get prescription medication for high blood pressure? They say, yeah, how do you know that? And I say, well, guess what? It's a depth charge side effect, because it doesn't show up until years later on. And any kind of junk that you put in your body is going to show that kind of effect later on in the form of some sort of side effect. And the doctors are able to hide this kind of side effect because it doesn't show up until years later. And you wonder where it came from. Well, now you know. So you've already learned more than most people know about this for their entire life. So the question is what we're going to do about it once you find out about it. Well, let's go over here to our magic list. This is a list I put together called If It Were Me, I'd Take. This is a list I currently have 99 different diseases on there. And I'm going to do a little word search for high blood pressure, and we'll find out what the ailment is on the left-hand side and what the remedy is on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, number 15, hypertension and high blood pressure, go to the right side. You need calcium, but calcium, not the kind of junk you get in the store. You need the absorbable kind of calcium. You need liquid kind of calcium, not the pills. You need more salt, and you need more butter. You don't need the oils. You need to get rid of the bad foods, and I can give you the list of that if you like. I can also give you this list that you're looking at right here of all these different ailments and remedies. It's all free. All you got to do is email me at the website you see right down here, and we'll get you started on that way. What you do when you visit that website is going to look like this. johnfinger.my90forlife.com. You go send a message. And in there is where you're going to type your message. You're going to type your first name. I don't need your last name. You can say, please send me the list. You click send, and boom, there you go. We'll get you started on the right list. Again, this is all free information. You don't have to buy anything. But this is going to be a very important part of solving the high blood pressure that you think you have as a problem. We're here to help. Let's get going on.